Este episodio fue producido y grabado en inglés.
The current climate of things, I do think, has influenced me to write. Like, I have a song, Fangs, that is all about the immigration system and what I've been through and, my anger towards it and things like that, because me and my family have been directly affected by that. So it's an outlet to share that message with people. And I think it's really great that people are exploring like the darker side of music. We are in dark times right now, and I think it's healthy for us to express how we feel about that. And I think that's like the first step in building, like finding community, building community, and then sharing that with others who might feel the same way as you through music or art or just through having this conversation.
This is El Sonido, Cancioneros, KEXP's podcast about Latin American and Ibero-American music and the albums that run through it. My name is Albina Cabrera, and every Monday you will hear conversations with the artists who are shaping the modern sound of the continent, as they share their personal playlists, the records they grew up with, the ones that moved them, the ones that revealed something essential. Dark Chisme is a Seattle-based project that blends darkwave, post-punk, and synth-pop and tell powerful stories about identity, resilience, and growing up in a bicultural space. I sat down with Christine Gutierrez, the mastermind behind Dark Chisme, to explore the songs that shaped her as a person and artist. With her self-titled debut album, she channels her personal journey through music, exploring painful episodes like her father's deportation and the feeling of not fully belonging anywhere, transforming these experiences into musical strength and fire on the stage. This is my conversation with her. Welcome to Cancioneros, this KEXP podcast that we're trying to explore the favorite music of our favorite artists. So it's a pleasure to have you here, Christine. ¿Qué tal?
Hi, I know I'm really happy to be a part of this. Thank you for having me.
I think that we've talked this in the past, but before to ask you for the first song, I would like to ask you for your first memory with music. Do you remember when it was?
Like music, just in general, like it started with a lot of like merengue, salsa, music from like cumbia, music from Mexico and stuff like that. My family was really into, driving around Chicago. I mean, they're from Mexico and Puerto Rico, but when they moved to Chicago and they would kind of go on cruises, and I would be part of those cruises, and they would drive around the lake and stuff like that and just blast that music and did not care if the neighborhood heard, like the whole neighborhood was listening. And so they would also listen to like house music and new wave, and freestyle music was huge in Chicago. And so, my dad and my mom, I feel like those are like the happiest times, I think. And to see how happy that music got them during some pretty dark times, like, I think that's what stuck with me, is that like music in general could be a healing force for many people and for myself as well. So I was just always like obsessed with learning about different genres. Yeah, just collecting music as much as I could, knowing about the artist front to back. It's been like a whole journey, but I thought as soon as I felt like some healing force from it, I think that's when I started getting addicted to learning different music. Yeah.
I love to see that experimentation and how you blend that intensity and that emotion, that raw emotion. It's something that I admire a lot about you, Christine, and about the project Dark Chisme. I'm going to start with El Cancionero de Dark Chisme aquí en KEXP. And I'm going to go following the order of the songs that you share with me. And I love to start with a must. This track is from 1998, and we are going to one of the gems that shape alternative rock in the 90s. I'm talking about Garbage and the song The Trick is to Keep Breathing.
I'm pretty obsessed with Garbage. I've always loved her voice since I was young. I loved her energy, like the rawness. A really awesome kind of like aggression that I think I really admire from different like women when they, express that side of them, and not scared to, just kind of let go and be themselves. And so this song in particular is like a reminder for myself. I mean, from what I know of the song, is about like, during a lot of things that are going on, like, the trick is you keep going, you keep breathing, and you don't really give up. And so this song is actually one of my anxiety songs. So whenever I have anxiety or I feel, depressed or something, and I actually do play this song. I think my bandmate, Eric, has to hear this song a lot before like tour and things like that in the car, but he never minds. But it's a special song that's close to me, that really gets me through a lot of anxiety, or when I'm feeling hopeless, or when I'm questioning myself, which is something I'm trying to work on. This song in particular helps me through that.
I think that we all need it. I think that the world needs the Darchisme's playlist for anxiety. It's something that a lot of us we're going through right now. It's something that our community is going through like right now. And I think that more than ever, I think that we need to bring kind of course, that joy and peace. But I think that what you are doing, like going on the stage and, supporting the community and talking about your story es revolucionario. So the second track, I remember something that you told me about Kurt Cobain. Like, I think that last year that Kurt was one of the como modelos for you, to try to sing. Super interesting when you picked the Linkin Park song and you said that this is why I started to sing. So I would love to hear more about this track in particular and this band, but specifically about these times. I mean, the early 2000s, that is such a big part of us, right?
For Linkin Park, I just actually saw Linkin Park 2 days ago, and that was like, I definitely was like crying, and because it was a big moment for me. Anybody who knows me knows how obsessed I am with Linkin Park since like day one. I grew up, listening to a lot of Latin music, but then I discovered nu metal, black metal, punk music around that time too. And so for some reason, like Linkin Park stood out to me in terms of like, I always loved how Chester, like the singer, would sing melodically, but then he would have this really cool aggression, this like, scream. And so I started trying to kind of master a scream and like, join metal bands, join garage punk bands. And then I've also like sang for hardcore bands. And so, because I wanted to sound like this person, and because Linkin Park's music just lyrically got me through a lot of stuff back in the day. Like I was going through a lot of difficulties with my family at the time, going through foster care, and music like that, where there was no cursing in it, nothing. It was able to fall into my lap, and I was able to discover another side of myself in terms of discovering emotion and like, what I'm going through is just kind of, it's part of the journey. And not that I have to accept it, but I can figure out mentally, like, how can I go through this and like get out of it. And so I felt like Linkin Park was definitely an anchor for me, to understand what I'm feeling rather than, beat myself up for it. And that somebody else is probably going through the same thing that I'm going through, and how do I find that community? Yeah, to basically kind of, I don't know, in a way save myself from all of that I've been through. So Linkin Park has a special place in my heart, and it's never going away. And I just appreciate nu metal. I think I love all different kinds of metal, but nu metal, I really appreciate the singing and the screaming in the music. Yeah.
Track number 3, you are taking me to a trip to Mexico, and we're gonna talk about Equinoxius. And the track is Astrónomo Insumiso. I love this band, and actually I think that DJ Charlize shared with me this band the first time, and I love that it's part of your cancionero. Tell me why, Christine.
Well, this is where it starts. Like, so we're talking about the alternative influence, right? The, música rockero from that time. And so this is when the synths start to come in. A lot of music that I listened to was like 80s new wave. There was a really cool goth scene in Chicago called Neo. And I always talk about Neo because it was basically what introduced me and my mom to that music at the time. And so a lot of it was like very synth heavy. You had a lot of synthesizers. You had a really cool like noises, and I don't know. It's just like things that I was like, what is this? I love this sound. And so for this band in particular, it kind of inspires the route of like where I want Dark Chisme to go, is to continue to be, have this kind of rock element, but also have a very synth forward kind of dancey, like, that I want DJs to be able to play at the club or something like that, and so we can dance to it. So I want it to be like high energy but experimental as well. And I think this band has been like a huge influence on like kind of where we're at and where we want to be next. I really admire like their synths, their music progression, their layering. It sounds great.
We were in Mexico with Equinoxius, and we just heard Astrónomo Insumiso, and now we are going to Peru for the next track. I'm talking about Varsovia, Ellos Quieren Sangre.
It's a good song. It's been on like some TV shows too, which made me happy because of knowing the song before. I can't remember Los Spookies. There we go. That's the show. Yeah. It's actually it's really great. It's fun. But they had that song, I think, as their theme song, but I knew it prior to that. And so when I saw that, I was like, yes, they're getting like the recognition they deserve. I love the vocalist. I think it's definitely like, I feel like what inspires me too. Because I like to go all over the place with my vocals. I don't want to stay like one note. That's just my personal thing. I want to sing loud. I want to do spoken word. I want to yell, but I also want to be like a little creepy, but a little soft. And so, hopefully trying to capture all of those things because that's how my brain works. But yeah, I love this song.
in every episode, artists choose the song that defines them today. And as Christine said, Funks is the track where her artistic vision and political voice come together. A song that turns pain into power and builds community through sound.
I think that song in particular, because we also wanted to experiment with some cumbia a little bit in the song. So we do definitely want to bring in more cumbia influences, but keep it very much dark wave post punk. And so for this next month, that's what we're gonna like work on is make like, you know, we have Fangs as like that base of like, this is what we experimented with. We liked it. Instrumental wise, we want to keep going that direction, and then definitely keep talking about the things that are not affecting me, but like also maybe affecting other people as well, and finding a way to bond with others through the music, hopefully, because it's been a really great journey of that. Like people reach out to us and they say like, you know, we listen to your music, like it has gotten me through a breakup, it has gotten me through what's happening right now, it's making me, you know, like learn more about dark wave if they're not into dark wave. And like those people coming up to us talking to us about that makes me like super happy, because like while I'm trying to just express myself the way that it's connecting to people, I think Fangs is definitely doing that for us.
This is Fangs by Dark Chisme. This was the episode 19 of the new season of El Sonido Cancioneros. I'm Albina Cabrera, and I invite you to follow and subscribe to this weekly journey of songs, memories, and voices. Remember that KEXP is a listener-powered radio station. If this story resonates with you, consider making a donation at kexp.org/El Sonido. Deb Vázquez González was our production assistant. Dusty Henry led the editorial editing. Our editorial director is Leary Meisel Jr. This episode was mastered by Matt Ogas and was edited and produced by me, Albina Cabrera, your host and amiga. Nos escuchamos pronto. New episodes every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts. This is an original production by KEXP, where the music matters.